What have you done to make people believe in you? What have you done to show them that you are a man worth backing? When have you followed through enough, executed enough, done the work enough to show them that, yeah, I'm a man who gets shit done. I'm a man who follows through on his word. I'm a man of my word. When have you given enough to warrant that kind of faith? This becomes the question that people want to be believed in. They want people to back them up. They want people to, believe that they can go to war. They can go to war with ideas or notions, or go to war with mediocrity, and to back them and support them or join them, go on that journey with them. But the question becomes, when have you ever done enough to be that guy? What have you done in your life to show that you are worthy of that level of support, that level of belief? Hell, would you believe in yourself? This is, more than anything, the biggest question. Most men do not believe their own propaganda. They don't believe their own hype. They don't believe the thoughts that they're telling themselves. That, yeah, I'll start on Monday. Yeah, I'm all in. I'm going to do the work. I'm committed. I'm driven. I'm focused. Well, let's have a look at your history here. That shit ain't adding up. And the problem is that for some ungodly reason, we continue to believe our own bullshit. We continue to believe our own hype. But, if it was anyone else, the amount of times that you have said that you would do something, that you would actually get the work done, that it was done, end of story, and then, lo and behold, shit all fucking happens, you wouldn't believe that person anymore. You wouldn't believe them. You'd be like, nah, that guy's full of shit. And yet, for yourself, you keep letting yourself down, letting others down, being full of shit, and expecting to people to be like, yeah, he's a trustworthy guy. He's a guy that is going to do what he says he's going to do. He's going to follow through. And I don't believe for a second that it's malicious. I don't think there's malintent behind it. I just think it's fact that you haven't built the habit of following through. You haven't built the habit of doing the fucking work. And that's the end of the story. Like, you just haven't done the work consistently enough. You haven't followed through consistently enough to be a man of your word. And that's the start of chasing greatness. That's where it begins. That I often think that the biggest sign that a man has commitment and follow through is his physical component. How he physically shows up. The physical representation of himself in this world. That a man with a great physique, at least in one aspect of his life, has commitment, has follow through, has discipline, has fortitude, has the ability to keep showing up day in, day out for an extended period of time without results. To just do the work and trust the process. So a man who has a great physique gives instantly this sign that he has these skills. Now, it doesn't always guarantee that he's a man of his word. It doesn't always guarantee that this will transfer into every aspect of his life. But it's a good starting point for that. So that's why we start with that. Because on top of that, it also spiderwebs out. Once you build the habit of being in great fucking shape, once you build the habit of following through every single day with a weighted walk, with a weighted workout, with 4 litres of water, with an animal-based diet, with taking a daily photo. Lo and behold, you have set the standard for yourself that you are a man who can be a man of his word. You are a man who can follow through. You are a man who can do the fucking work. That's a great fucking place to start. That's why we start here. But why would anybody else trust you when you can't even trust yourself at this point? And look, I know it's harsh. I know, well, I'm not even kinda. I am flat out telling you that you're a motherfucking liar. But, well, the whole point of this is for harsh realities. The whole point of this is that you have to face harsh realities. And the honest to God truth is, I had to face those harsh realities too. One of the biggest gut punches I've ever received in my life was the realization that my wife didn't believe me. Because why fucking would she? I kept making promises. I kept making these statements that I would do shit, and lo and behold, I didn't fucking do it. But of course I didn't. I couldn't even keep my word to myself, let alone my word to her. If I can't follow through on the things I say I want to do, on the things that matter to me, what chance do I have of following through on the other things as well? Zero. Like, literal fucking zero. If I can't do the things I say myself, there's next to no chance I'm going to be able to do those things for other people. Of course they're not going to believe me. I don't believe me. And I think the part that really hurts with all that is that it takes so long. It takes such a serious fucking commitment for such a long period of time to build back that trust. Because it's like, you know, it's like the cliches of it. If you throw a mug on the ground and you glue it back together, yeah, it might have the same shape, but it's always going to have the remnants of what happened. And over time, those cracks and those glue marks and things will fade and will come back. It can come back stronger as long as you don't break it again. But each time you do break it, each time you do break the trust and the follow through and the belief in that, it gets harder and harder to bring it back. It gets harder and harder to regain that. It's why becoming a man of your word takes a long fucking time. Because, well, if you've never done it, you're erasing a lifetime of not following through. You're erasing a lifetime of bad habits. You are erasing a lifetime of being a motherfucking liar. So yeah, it's gonna take you a minute or two, or a year, or 2 years to rebuild that trust, to rebuild that faith that you're a man who will get it done if you say you're gonna get it done. Then you're a man who can actually get all that work done. But just because it's difficult, just because it's going to take a long ass time, doesn't mean that it's not worth doing. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't follow through on it. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't commit to it and make it a fucking reality. If anything, it means it's more of that. If anything, it means that you should absolutely give it your fucking all and make sure that it gets done. That you need to become a man of your word. For your wife, for your partner, for your children, for your friends and family, for those around you, for everyone you serve. You need to become a man of your word. You need to spend the rest of your life building up that legacy, that history, that credit in the bank, that you are a man of your word. That if you fucking say it, it is getting done. End of story. And that is something that is, well, worth its weight in gold. You become a rarity. You become someone really special. But, as I said, it's going to take a long time. And that's why we start with chasing greatness. As I said, it's a sign of that you're a man who can commit to something without the rewards being instantaneous. You're a man who can follow through and sacrifice and do the work and do what has to be done for an extended period of time, for a lot longer than people think is justifiable, to just keep showing up day in, day out without any guarantee of reward, purely to achieve this. Because you know, on a long enough timeline, that this will be fucking worth it. But it's not easy. It's damn well not easy. But it's worth it. That you become a man with a zero choice mentality. That it is done because I said it is. There are no other options. I have made this plan. I have made this decision. And I made this decision when motivation was high, when the feelings were good, when I was rested and I felt like it and I was on top of the fucking world. And now that I'm exhausted and I feel like shit and I don't want a bar of it, that doesn't fucking matter. Because you said it was getting done. Therefore, it is getting done. That is the reality. That is the reality of this situation. That you said it was getting done. So therefore, it's fucking getting done. That's how you get better. That's how you improve every area of your life. It is the greatest skill to develop, to be a man of your word. And it expands into all the things we want. It expands into being disciplined. It expands into fortitude. It expands into resilience and mental toughness and focus and determination and follow through and commitment and all these kinds of things. But it starts with that one grain. It starts with that moment of going, I am a man of my word. I have said it is getting done, therefore it is getting done. End of story. This one action, this one decision, this one moment of clarity can change the rest of your life if you're willing to let it change the rest of your life. But you have to be willing to let it. You have to be willing to go, well, I now have a zero choice mentality. I said it is getting done, therefore it is getting done. And this isn't an easy way of life. This isn't going to be something that's simple. This isn't something that is going to be easy. There are going to be times where you will face really hard fucking decisions. Some big, some small, but all of them important. All of them that matter because you said you would. That's basically the end of the story. Because you said you would. Now it must get done. And that's how you get it done. That's how it becomes a really important moment in your life. That you just decide, and then you decide, and then you decide, and then you decide. And you decide, and you decide, and you decide. Because the tree falls the way it leans. So not only, you need to make that one moment decision. You need to make that big fucking decision. But then on top of that, you need to make the little micro decisions over and over and over and over again. That I am a man of my word. And you need to build the momentum in the little things, in the things that you said would get done, in the micro decisions that feel like nothing. They're actually the ones that lead you to the zero choice mentality. You know, it seems that it's the big decisions, like it's raining and I have to get a weighted walk-in and I don't fucking want to borrow that. That is a big decision. But because it's a big decision, it carries more weight. Because it's a big decision, it's actually ironically easier once you wrap your head around it to make that decision, because that's the really big, clear, definitive ones. If you went to look back across your day, you could be like, well, I made that decision. I'm a man of my word. Fucking boom. Tick. And that is fantastic. But it's the little decisions the little man of my word ones that matter. They're the little ones that add up, you know. I'm a fit, healthy man, and I'm eating an animal-based diet. Well, this is technically on it. Yeah, it might have a few extra added ingredients, like, for example, the jerky, or, you know, some of the sweet potato chips, or things like this. That's not you being a man of the word. But they're easy ones to slip by. They're easy ones that can get to the keeper because, well, they seem insignificant. They seem close enough. They seem good enough. But good enough is often the enemy of this. Good enough is the enemy of you making progress into the next stage of your life. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. You know, I'll tidy up my office, my room, my gym, my fucking car, insert thing. That was close enough. That was good enough. Was it? Was that the type of man you want to be? Is that sending the message that you want to send to yourself? That you're a man of your word, that you said you would and you picked up a few little things and it's good enough? Or did the man of his word say that it was going to be perfect? Or at least have that in mind, even if that wasn't clearly stipulated. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. So it comes back to this. It comes back to these moments of, well, are you following through? Are you giving enough? Because it's really easy on the smaller things that nobody's ever going to fucking know to just call it quits. Or like on your weighted walk. There are some days where I come back faster than I went out, which is always perplexing, but it does happen. And it'd be really easy that as soon as I get back to the start to be like, that's good enough. But no, part of the reason why there's a fucking timer is to make sure that I actually get the 45 minutes out in. So there are days where my wife thinks I'm absolutely insane, but I'm doing laps up and down outside our house until that timer goes off, and then I can come in. Because I want to establish in all areas that I am a man of my word. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. It is fucking hard. And I have slipped more times than I'd care to admit. I have fucked up more times than I'd care to admit. That I am still building this, because each time I fail and I'm not a man of my word, and each time I don't follow through completely, it's like 100-to-1 ratio. The times that you fuck up mean so much more than the times that you follow through. That's why it's so hard. It's why it takes such commitment. It's why it takes such a long period of time. Because the negatives will always outweigh the positives. It's like the concept with business, you know. For every 10 people that you meet, one person might leave, say, a positive thing about your business, if prompted. But if you have a negative experience, they'll go out and tell 10 people. Because negative carries more weight. A negative experience carries way more weight than the positive. The positives often in the individual moment get brushed under the rug, but it's an accumulation thing. That's a feeling thing. It's a total overall spectrum thing that the positives show up. But the negatives, they stand out. And it's why you have to do it properly. It's why you have to be a man of your word in all areas, and don't let those little things that feel like fucking nothing slip up. That feel like nothing catch you on the back foot. Because they are the ones that will completely and utterly derail you. So you've got to start putting that money in the bank. You've got to start doing those things that are going to build you to the life that you want. So the question becomes, are you ready to become a man of your word? Are you ready to become a person who can be trusted? A person who can be believed in? Are you ready to be that man? If so, shoot me a message. Let's get you into chasing greatness. Let's start that process. Let's start building you out bit by bit by bit. Start building that credit, that positivity, to build that overarching principle that you are a man who follows through and keeps his word. If you're not quite ready for that, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, as always, if this spoke to you, if you enjoyed it, if you know someone else who needs to hear this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button, because the majority of people who are on here, who are listening to this, who are enjoying this incredible podcast, are not subscribed. And like everything in Chasing Greatness, I will be here every single day. And I'm leading from the front. I'm sharing my experiences, and I don't want you to miss a single one. So hit that subscribe button, because I'll be back again tomorrow. I want to see you then. Until then.